Battery's starting to sound a little weak on this thing. It's old. It's going on 5 years old, I guess. Clear out all the stuff. What is the weather like today, besides just fantastic? It feels great out here. I love this. It's the best time of year, man. 66 degrees. Feels like 66. Yeah, pretty low humidity today. Got a high of 92. And current conditions, 75% humidity. It actually doesn't feel quite that thick. I'm not complaining. This is unseasonably cool for Houston. Normally we're still, mid 70s at night. Yard guys came yesterday and dusted everything. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about this morning, other than whatever might be rattling around in my brain that's fit for public consumption. We'll find out. I washed my jacket and my gloves yesterday. Let them air dry overnight. My jacket was getting a little funky. Hey, that finger is a little funky. I couldn't figure out. I kept getting this sour smell after I wore my jacket to work and all that, and I was just thinking, well, is it the shirts? What's going on? Because I'm smelling this funky, sour smell. I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. It's coming from the back of this jacket, and it was transferring onto my shirt. Ew. Sweaty Houston summer riding. I ran out of my tech wash stuff. I haven't had any of that in a year plus. It's a special laundry soap. It's not even a detergent. I don't think they classify it as a detergent. A lot of these textile jackets, especially Gore-Tex, they say do not use detergent on them when you wash them. So if you do, it causes them to lose some of their waterproof properties, and you definitely can't use fabric softeners and stuff like that. So anyway, I haven't had any tech wash in a while, and I just couldn't wait any longer to buy some. I'm not in a buying mode lately. I'm trying to save money, so I just put a very little bit of what's the stuff that we use, all dye-free, detergent-free, whatever. Just a little bit of that in there, and a touch of the what are those boost crystal things? I'm trying to think of the name of it. Anyway, it comes in a tub. OxyClean, that's it. Just a touch of that for odor removal, whatnot. Washed it on mild cycle and let it air dry. So hopefully I didn't screw anything up. I love this weather. Just fantastic. I was going to change the oil on this thing yesterday. I worked from home all day yesterday, and I got tied up in the middle of quotes and documentation projects and forgot all about changing my oil until it was too late. The day had already slipped by. So I need to do that tonight. This oil is overdue by my standards, still within spec according to Honda, but whatever. A little over 4,000 miles on this change, I think. I can't remember if Honda recommends 4,000 or 8,000 on this. It's more than I would do. I mean, normally I do 3,000 mile intervals, and oil is cheap, engines aren't. In all the years that I've lived over here in this neighborhood, over 10 years now, I don't think I've ever been behind the trash truck on this stretch of road, ever. Not once. That's the first time. They got a hell of a obstacle course with all these cars parked on the sides here. So with all the traffic going through in this lane, and then they have to stop and merge out and around, oh, that's a challenge. Oop, little thick in the helmet. So what else is going on in the world? I don't want to get into politics or disasters. I'll stay away from those. My thoughts and prayers are definitely with the people in North Carolina and Tennessee and all through the areas that were hit by that last hurricane. And now, of course, we've got the next big bad boy that's pummeling Florida right now. Hurricane Milton, I guess the name is. I haven't watched any news. I try to stay away from the news because, you know, it's either bad news or propaganda, so stay away from it. But weather generally is somewhat on the level, you know, not too much bias there, unless it's just underreported. But hope everybody's doing okay over there in Florida. I know that hurricane was a Cat, I think it was officially a Cat 4 when it made landfall. It might have been a Cat 3. That was the last projections that I saw yesterday before it made landfall. But I haven't been keeping up. All I know is we're very dry here. We haven't had any rain here in weeks. If we did, it's just a very quick sprinkle, you know, not a decent amount of water to soak into the ground or anything like that. And it doesn't look like we've got any rain in our forecast for quite a while. There's like one day in the 10-day forecast. Every now and then, you know, it'll say like 4 days out, there's a 30% chance of rain or something, and that day rolls around, nothing. Dry. I think we've gone 6 weeks now without any rain here, maybe more than that. I started editing a few vlogs. I have not been in the vlogging mood lately, just, you know, life and stress and nonsense. I just haven't been recording very much, but I recorded a handful of days over the last month, and I started putting those in the editing queue over the last, 3 days. Put out a couple raw vlogs and one on the primary channel, just kind of a status update for anybody that's paying attention or interested. I had that root canal done and made the video on riding over to have that tackled. And okay, I'll get a little political, or not political, but, you know, at least how shall I say, not confrontational, but I'll rebuff a couple of nasty commenters that left snide comments saying, oh, well, okay, let me get this straight. You got a bad tooth, you know it's been bad, but you go on all these road trips and you buy these motorcycles and you do all this, and it sounds like you don't have your priorities straight. Go f*** your hat. I try to live my life instead of just sitting on the sidelines and waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't play that game. And as far as my priorities, my family is always my priority. Family first, bills first, anything important first. I'm always last, and that's how it's been in my life, for better or worse. And I haven't bought anything or done anything, you know, as far as my motorcycles and all that living life stuff for a while now. And pardon me while there's a technical glitch. Gotta make it happen. These people aren't going to break it up, and I got to get over, so. Anyway, yeah, so family's always first. I'm always last, and that's just how things go. But when something major happens like that, you know, a major health issue or something that's going to affect my ability to continue to provide and care for my family, then yeah, that's got to get lifted up to the top of the stack and take care of it. So the tooth thing is just, it was taking my life apart too much. I couldn't eat. I suffered for a long time. Just couldn't eat without major pain, and I'm waiting to have the money to get that done, but eventually there's no more waiting, there's no more time. That's what happened. I don't have insurance. I'm self-employed, single earner. Well, my wife has got a job now, and she's helping the finances at home a little bit, groceries, all that, so that's a little bit of relief for me. But as the primary sole earner, I've got to focus on the major bills and the important stuff, you know, mortgage and car payments and food and, you know, all that. That's the primary goal. So I can suffer for a while, and I've got a pretty high pain threshold, so I just lived with it as long as I could. My upper right first molar had a root canal, 15 years ago or something like that, and a crown, and that crown came off in my the car accident February a year ago, so going on almost 2 years ago. The impact of the airbag smacking my face and my arm and all that loosened up that crown, and it fell off the day after that car wreck. So I was just, chewing some food slowly, and I felt something hard and crunchy in there that shouldn't have been in there. Like, wait a minute, what is that? Spit it out. There's porcelain crown there. Hey, that's not supposed to be in my food. I went feeling my tongue around. What, did I just lose a tooth? I realized it had come off of that molar. So I saved the crown. It's still sitting in my closet somewhere up on a shelf. And I thought, oh, well, eventually I'll have time. I'll just go over to a dentist and see if they can re-glue that thing. But waiting. That's how it goes. Yeah, I haven't had any vacations or done any fun stuff in a while now. I had that, was it 3 or 4 day outing way back in, I don't know what that was, June or something. That's a long time ago for me. I usually don't go more than about a month, maybe 6 weeks without a little 3-day break. Just get out, go ride somewhere, camp somewhere or something, just clear my head, unplug, recharge. But the gallbladder incident set me behind, and I didn't get out for my prolonged or protracted vacation that I was going to take, which was the Scoot the Ozarks trip up in Arkansas. That's already over a month ago, 6 weeks plus, whatever. Yeah, I got to get out. And now the weather is nice. It's getting down in the low 60s at night. Fantastic camping weather. So the new Honda DAX is coming. It should be here pretty much any day, any week. It's supposed to be available mid-October from what I read. I was thinking about that. If I had the money, I would probably get one just to play around with it and compare it to the Cub and the Trail 125 and stuff like that, see how it stacks up. But from the stats, I'm not super pumped about it. It's not anything new enough, different enough that I think it would be better than what I have. My issues with the DAX are it takes kind of the lowest qualities of the Monkey and the Super Cub and mashes them together. So what I mean by that is it's got the smaller wheels that come from the Grom and the Monkey, so the 12-inch wheels, whatever they are. It's got the 4-speed transmission and centrifugal clutch from the Cub, and a 1-gallon fuel tank. So you're mashing those 3 lower spec items from, in comparison to the Grom and the Monkey, and putting them in one chassis. So the only upside is it's kind of a cool styling, I think, and the fact that it has front and rear disc brakes, ABS on both ends, as far as I know. So that's a nice touch. It's an add compared to the Cub or whatever, but I don't know. This doesn't seem like it's all that fantastic. Maybe if it had the 5-speed, it would be better. I don't know. And if I rode it, I'd probably love it, just like any of the other mini motos. And I'm not saying it's not going to be great, but just from a specs standpoint, just from a specification standpoint, it's not all that in a bag of chips. You can let me out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ruh-roh, full stop. Not good. I'm going to cut this guy off because I need over there. And the price tag on it's not cheap. I mean, we're talking $4,500 or whatever. So that's before taxes. So out the door, it's going to be a $5,000 mini moto. And granted, everything is getting more expensive these days, but yeah, that's a lots of money. And I just realized that I forgot my office keys. Son of a bitch. I washed my jacket, so I took everything out of it, and my office keys are normally sitting right there in that pocket. Scheiße. Well, we'll call my buddy and see where he wants to meet for breakfast, because he's got a spare set of keys to my office. Let's see what he wants to do. I'll swing by my old office up here and find out if I've got a check in the mail. Something I can do at least while I'm in this corridor. I need to go to my warehouse and dig for a Cisco Stackwise cable. I have a box somewhere that's got a whole bunch of Cisco switch parts and power supplies and mounting rails and brackets and nonsense, and in that box are at least half a dozen Stackwise cables of varying lengths, 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, and I need a couple of 2 meter cables. I would rather get them out of my stash than to buy some. If I have to buy them, I've got to order them, mail order, online, whatever, Amazon, and it'll take them a couple days to get here. And they're expensive, man, like $65 a cable. I'll go upstairs, see if there is a wonderful little magic piece of paper that translates to money. Find out. Won't block that in case somebody needs to get in. This guy hasn't gotten here yet. Hopefully I'm not blocking his spot. Hey, I'll put in this one because I know they're not going to be coming out. This is for that client, that tenant, my buddy, my ex-office. They're not going to go anywhere. Okay, anywho, I'll catch you in a bit. Woohoo! All right. Turned a failure into a success. I had a magic piece of paper in there that was fairly sizable. Definitely better than a kick in the nuts. Now all that money is spoken for already in bills. It's gone as soon as it comes in, but at least it takes a couple, 3 pails of water out of the bottom of the boat. Digging out of a hole, man, sucks. Really sucks. Be nice to have some money to play with for once in a very long time. Get on the hole, man. Get on. There it goes. Oh, still had the side stand down. yeah, it would be nice to have a little bit of money to play with instead of just reserving it all for bills. You know, everything's spoken for. I haven't had any spare money to play with in a long time. Kind of going back to my rant earlier this morning on the way in, talking about priorities. The last time I had any money to rub together was when I sold the Riker and I got the Hunter 350, and that was a net positive transaction because I got more out of the Riker than the Hunter 350 cost me, obviously. All right, you're gonna go, I'm going. So I don't know. Still haven't heard anything on the insurance. Well, I have heard, but no resolution, let's say, on the insurance settlements from that motorcycle wreck last year. I won't talk about the legal stuff until it's all completely finalized, but there were some interesting developments in it that didn't make a lot of sense. So anyway, just been kind of holding my breath on that, but I can't hold my breath and hold still. I got to keep moving. I can't just wait on that payout because it's not going to be all that much. Once it's all said and done, medical bills paid for, attorney's fees covered, all that, it's going to be almost a wash. But if it can get the bills paid off for the medical stuff and get that off of my collections, you know, off my credit sheet, that would be great. I don't really care about credit. I don't live on credit that much. Try not to. But having big collection items on your credit report can limit your options if you're looking to get a car or a house or, you know, any major purchase. And why are you stopping in the left lane? Dude, there's plenty of room. Should have taken the back road. Oh well. Yeah, my Honda Accord is almost paid off. It's a 2020 model, so 4 years and change. I did a pretty quick term on that. You know, these days you can do 5-year, 6-year, 7-year loans, stuff like that. I opted for I think it was a 5 years, a 60-month term, and it's just about up. I paid ahead on it a little bit, so I only owe a couple thousand on it, maybe. I want to pay that off so I don't have to carry the full coverage insurance, and I can drop, you know, a considerable amount of money. I won't tell you how much, but let's say it's almost $1,000 a month is what it's costing for that car, and I don't use it. It's, you know, for my wife. But once I can drop the full coverage insurance, it's just a couple $100 a month, because Houston is crazy. Like $230 a month, I think, something like that. That will reduce a lot of expenses. And full stop on I-10, great. And then the car payment would be gone too as well. So, you know, I'm just looking to minimize monthly burn. We got very good. I don't want to get into another new car payment, so I'll just find something used that's in good shape and pay cash for it, hopefully. Wow, I-10 is a mess today. Yuck. 610 is actually moving faster. That's completely backwards. Normally these lanes are moving along okay, and it's the 610 interchange lanes that are backed up for 2 miles. Well, I'm gonna have to mosey my way on over to the right lanes here within the next mile. See how this plays. I'm still biting my cheek over a week later. Cheek is still inflamed, and jaw muscle and all that. Swollen. I have to get out of this lane. These people are not moving along, and this guy is sleeping. Get off your phone. Yep, on the phone. Dude. Go. Somebody go. Do it. Are you going? You're not going? You going? You're not going? Figure it out. No stopping. There's no massive roundabout queue this morning. What's up? Don't tell me we suddenly learned overnight how to use a roundabout. That's just insane. Couldn't happen. Not in Texas. Nobody coming? We go. See, it's so simple. You just roll. No stopping. It's not a four-way. Pick a lane and stay in it. You got here before me? Go ahead. Bumpity bump bump. Bump bump. Crunch. That wheel hugger that I've got, Pyramid Plastics, I like the look and the fit of it, but it's not stiff enough near the chain portion. It flexes too much under big bumps, and it always smacks the chain or the tire and makes all kinds of noise. And we're gonna go off-road in here. Jesus, that's a big hole. 8 inches deep. They need more than a cone on that. They need to fill it with gravel, for fuck's sake. Still hearing that whistling at idle. I think it's my LED headlight. It's got the cooling fan on it, and I think it's something to do with input voltage right there at idle or just off idle, and maybe, you know, bike vibration that's causing the little fan to make noise. You know, the bearings or bushing in the fan are finally gone bad after 6 years, whatever, 7 years. Need to get in there and replace that bulb. There are fanless options now in the LED game, but usually if you go fanless on these headlamp bulbs, they've got to be derated, you know, lower power, like 20 watt instead of 30 or 40 watt, whatever, because they just can't dissipate enough heat without a fan. So we got a green light. It sure would be great if you would go before it turns red. You asshole. Seriously downhill. I was sitting and watching my mirror because of this, what I'm getting ready to say. I was sitting right behind somebody on this a couple years ago, and they were dicking off with their phone or whatever, and they're sitting right here in the spot that I am now, and they let off their brake just a little bit, you know, creeping, and didn't realize it because this is so steep downhill right here, and ran right into the car in front of them, and they kept pushing even after they hit. They couldn't figure out what was going on. I didn't see the brake lights come on or anything. I saw them roll forward and go thunk, and then they just kept pushing and rolling forward. Like, what the hell? Get on the brake, man. And of course, you know, they blocked this intersection, and they're getting out and yelling at each other, and fucking idiots. I couldn't believe the guy. It was in a truck. I couldn't believe he didn't stop. You know, once you hit something, you mash the brakes and try to figure out what just happened. Did you get hit in the front or behind, or what happened? No, he just kept rolling, like 3 or 4 seconds, and then finally hit his brakes and got out. He was about to back up. I was right behind him, but I was far enough back that it's like, like, dude, just don't put it in reverse and nail the gas, because now you're going to take two people out. Anywho, I'm here. I'm going to go park this at my buddy's place upstairs, and we'll resume for the afternoon ride. I'm always blind when I come in this parking garage from the sun blindness, and then you come into this very dark garage. People fly through this garage, man. Watch these corners. I've almost been taken out 3 or 4 times. Oh, that was slippery. Some oil back there on that corner. The front wheel went with it. Nobody coming down today. Man, that's pretty rare. Usually there's 3 or 4 people on the wrong side. Okay, I've arrived. There's my old R1. I just sold it to these guys because I couldn't ride it anymore. I was like, yeah, I'm done. You can see how long it's been since it's been tagged. 913. It was fun, but way too high strung for Houston traffic and surface streets around here. Anywho, I'll catch you for the afternoon. All right, welcome back to the evening. It's about 6:45, and the weather is just phenomenal right now. It's amazing out here in Houston. I'm not going to enjoy riding straight into that sunset. It's beautiful, but I don't really want it in my eyeballs. The humidity is like 21% right now. It's crazy low. I can't remember a time in recent memory ever that Houston has been down at 21% humidity. This is insane. This is like Colorado kind of humidity levels up high altitude. Feels really good out here. It's mid 80s right now, I think, but it's such low humidity it feels cool. We're gonna have a low tonight in the mid 60s, maybe low 60s, something like that. I think I'm gonna hang a hammock under my gazebo and sleep outside tonight. I think I am. We stopped and ate dinner at Nundini's Cafe, Nundini's Table. Can't remember what the proper name of the place is. Great place. We used to eat there fairly often, and unfortunately the owner passed away a little over a year ago, and we had heard that the restaurant was closing. Uh-oh, somebody's coming. We had heard that the restaurant was closing, and apparently that wasn't true. They are still very much in business. They had some storm damage from, I don't know which one of the storms, about a year ago, not quite, and basically lost one of the walls of this giant warehouse that they're in. A hole was punched through the wall or something crazy like that. But anywho, they're still in business, and we've been going there the last few days when we get done working, and partaking of their fantastic food over there. Great service too. Really, really good place to go. But they're on Shepherd and I-10, just north of I-10. Had the wedge salad and soup, which is normally a lunch item, but we asked if we could have it for dinner, and they said, yeah, it's going to be a bigger portion and it costs a little bit more. That's fine. Make it up. It's basically a half a head of iceberg lettuce chopped up in 2 wedges, and then they cover it with what is it? Blue cheese dressing, a balsamic glaze, and traffic. Can't remember what else is on the plate, but it's fantastic. It's a meal in and of itself, and then a big bowl of minestrone to go with it. Great dinner. And I am done. I'm done. Tired. I'm full. I'm not hungry. Ready for a nap. But I'm gonna have to play in traffic to get home. It's kind of the tail end of rush hour, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's almost 7. Almost 7. What is it? 6:50? Yeah, 6:52. I gotta figure out what that whistling sound is. Can you hear that? It sounds like it's coming from the front of the engine, like down here somewhere. It doesn't sound like the headlight, but it could be that LED headlight that I've got. It's never made that noise until just recently, like the last, week? Something like that. I don't know what it is. It's very annoying though. You get above idle, it disappears. God, this is so annoying. Quit it. I'm gonna check my exhaust flange bolts, make sure they're tightened down. I don't think it's an exhaust leak. It's not a whistly sound like an exhaust leak normally would have, so I don't know what it is. The only thing I can figure, the easy target, is that little fan right there on the, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the LED bulb could be coming from there. It sounds like it's coming more closer and further down, but I don't know. Very annoying. I'm missing part of his bumper. And where are you going? It's a red light, dickhead. The guy's drunk, weaving around, stopped in the middle of traffic back there, not even up with everybody else. Drunk before 7. I wish the swelling in my cheek would go down. Every time I close my teeth together, I'm biting my cheek. It's driving me nuts. That was rough. Not very many people going west this time of night. Interesting. Okay. What you doing there, fella? Yeah, lane's over there. Ooh, good thing I'm not going east. That looks like not a lot of fun. Serious parking lot.